Welcome to Tony Byrne's View with news you can use. Tony has over 32 years of experience as a chartered financial planner and wealth manager. Tony's passion is to help you retire early and live the life of your dreams with no financial worries. Now to today's episode.
6 smart ways to handle probate. Probate is the legal process of proving a last will and testament, which means verifying that the will is legal and the deceased person's intentions are carried out. Probate also occurs when there is no will and a probate court must decide how to distribute the assets of the deceased estate to their loved ones. Probate is a legal process through which property is transferred after a property owner's death. Generally speaking, probate calls for the gathering of all assets, paying off debts, and distributing any remaining assets in accordance with an estate plan and the law. If the deceased has a will, the executor or administrator will apply for a grant of probate. The grant is a legal document which confirms that the executor has the authority to deal with the deceased person's assets, meaning property, money and belongings. This is called administering the estate. The 2 main reasons to avoid probate are the time and money it can take to complete. The court already takes a portion of the value of the estate to cover probate fees, but if a probate lawyer also gets involved, you're looking at even more expenses, which only further cuts into the heir's inheritance. Once probate is complete, this means that you or the solicitor have the legal right to administer the deceased's estate, in other words, property, money and possessions. Once this is done, the personal representative of the estate can now gather the deceased's assets ready to be cashed, transferred or sold. Does everyone need to use probate? No. Many estates don't need to go through this process. If there's only jointly owned property and money which passes to a spouse or civil partner when someone dies, probate will not normally be needed. Probate will not be granted until the inheritance tax on the estate has been paid. Here are 6 smart ways to handle probate. Firstly, use our What I Own and Where to Find It checklist before you die. Copies available on request from us. Number 2, put your life insurance in trust before you die. The claim proceeds will be paid to your loved ones bypassing probate, and usually quite quickly, within a couple of weeks in our experience, as opposed to months or years in probate. Number 3, if you have a simple estate, use a low-cost probate service or ask your executors to carry out probate for you. For simple estates, it's really not that complicated and not necessary to pay high legal fees. Number 4, use a probate loan to pay the inheritance tax. Again, ask us to recommend a specialist lender. Number 5, if you want your property to be sold quickly, consider using a guaranteed buyer service. Again, ask us for an introduction to such a specialist. And last but not least, if you have paper share certificates, convert them into digital ones either before, which is preferable, or after your death. The shares can then be sold much more cheaply and faster than in paper form. Use these 6 smart ways to handle probate with your executors, and you will find that your estate will pass to your beneficiaries much quicker and more cheaply than simply leaving it to chance. This will make it much easier and less painful for your executors and beneficiaries to handle probate. You know it makes sense.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to share it with your friends and family. For more information, head to www.wealthandtax.co.uk.